Hello. I real quick wanted to share with you guys a story that I wrote about a lot of different other things. For those of you who don't know me, hey, my name is Graham. Right at the current moment, I'm 15 years old, and this isn't just a story about the gym. It's a story about how I slowly became somebody I never thought I could be. If you would have asked me 3 years ago where I'd be today, I would have never imagined any of this back then. I picked up a dumbbell for the first time without realizing it could be the biggest decision of my teenage years. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have the best genetics. I didn't have a perfect workout plan. I definitely didn't know what progressive overload was, and I had no idea that one decision would completely change the way I saw myself. When I was younger, I was bullied. I spent a lot of time feeling like I was at the bottom. I constantly compared myself to other people. I wondered why some people seemed naturally confident while I wasn't. I wanted people to respect me. I wanted girls to notice me. I wanted to feel like I mattered. Most of all, I wanted to look in the mirror and feel proud of the person I was looking back at. At the time, I thought getting stronger would solve all those problems, so I walked into the gym. Looking back at that first workout, it wasn't special. It wasn't some movie moment where everything clicked. I wasn't instantly stronger. I didn't suddenly become confident. I was just another kid trying to figure things out. But what made that day so important wasn't the workout itself. It was that I finally gave myself a chance to change. Not long after I started lifting, I became interested in improving other parts of my life too. I started taking better care of my skin. I paid more attention to my hair, my hygiene, the way I dressed, the way I carried myself, the habits that made me feel better. People online called it looks maxing, but to me, it really was just learning to invest in myself. I wanted to become someone I felt good about, inside and out. At first, I'll be honest, a lot of that came from wanting validation. I wanted people to notice the changes. I wanted compliments. I wanted girls to see me differently. I wanted the people who underestimated me to realize I wasn't the same kid anymore. I don't think that's something underestimated. I don't think that's something everybody likes to admit, but it was a part of my story. Then something changed. Without even realizing it, I stopped walking up wondering what everybody else thought of me. I started walking up excited to see who I could become next. That was the moment everything became different. The gym stopped being about escaping who I was and became a place where I build who I can be. That's something I don't think enough people talk about. People see the results, but they don't see the hundreds of ordinary days that came before them. They don't see the nights where you question yourself. They don't see the mornings where you don't feel confident. They don't see the moments when progress feels slow and you wonder if it's even worth it. Those moments matter too. The gym didn't magically fix my life. It didn't erase every insecurity. It didn't make every bad day disappear. Even now, I still have insecurities. I still compare myself to others sometimes. I still have days where I wish I looked different or I question whether I'm doing enough. The difference is now I know those feelings don't have the final say. Every time I improved, even if it was something small, I reminded myself that change is possible. One more rep, one more pound, one more healthier habit, one better decision, one day at a time. Eventually, all those tiny improvements suddenly became a completely different life. When people watch my videos today, they usually see the lifts, they see the physique, they see the progress. They see me chasing a 405-pound bench press at 150 pounds body weight at 15 years old. But they don't always see what those numbers represent. To me, they represent every version of myself that refused to quit, The insecure kid, the kid who wanted to fit in, the kid who hoped people would notice him, the kid who just wanted to feel like he was enough. Every one of those versions helped me create the person I am today. I am grateful for all of them, because without those struggles, I don't think I would have appreciated the progress nearly as much. The biggest thing in this journey has taught me that progress isn't the only... The biggest thing this journey has taught me is that progress isn't only measured by what you can lift. It's measured by how differently you think, how much you've grown, how much kinder you've been to yourself, how much hope you have for the future. The weight on the bar matters to me, but it isn't the most important thing anymore. The most important thing is knowing that I'm no longer the same person who walked in that gym 3 years ago. People always say, love yourself. I think that's important, but I also think there's another question that's worth asking. Do you love the direction your life is heading? Because loving yourself doesn't mean pretending there's nothing left to improve. It means believing you're worth investing in. For me, that investment started with a dumbbell. For somebody else, it might start by learning a skill, chasing a dream, creating something, improving their health, repairing old relationships, working harder in school, or simply deciding to get back up after life knocks them down. You don't have to become me. You don't have to lift weights. You don't have to follow the same path I did. But I hope you realize that your current version doesn't have to be your final version. Maybe you already love yourself. If you do, that's amazing. But ask yourself honestly, is there a dream you've been putting off? A fear you've been letting control you? A habit that's holding you back? A version of yourself you've always imagined becoming? If there is, take that first step. Not because you're broken, not because you need to earn your worth, but because you're capable of growing into somebody you've never been more proud of. 3 years ago, I picked up a dumbbell because I wanted to become stronger. I thought I was changing my body. Looking back, I was changing my life. And that's why the gym will always mean so much to me. Not because of the numbers, not because of the attention, not because of the compliments, but because it gave me a chance to believe I could become someone I was proud of. If this video reaches even one person who's sitting there where I was 3 years ago, feeling insecure, overlooked, or wondering if life can really change, I hope you remember this. Your story is still being written. You are not finished becoming who you are capable of being. And sometimes the smallest decision you make today ends up becoming the reason you recognize yourself years from now. Thank you guys for listening to my story and watching this video. But I want you guys to realize that your story is still being written, and you are capable of becoming whoever you want, looking however you want, and growing in every possible way. Relationships, faith, trust, hope, strength, kindness, and I just really want you guys to get a takeaway from this video. So have a blessed day.